All right. Hello, everybody. Can't believe it. Episode 5.
Before we say anything, last week we completely apologized. It was mostly my fault. I will say that. So I had said that I couldn't do it Friday because I was going to do something with my family on Friday. Um, so we ended up having to push it back till Saturday, and then the recording got screwed up where it didn't save, so we weren't able to do it at all. And I'm gonna blame that one on me. If we would have just done it on Friday, I think we would have been fine. And I think we also would have re-recorded on Saturday. It's just that like by the time we had it all figured out, it was already like Sunday, and I don't really want to record on a Sunday and everything. Like, so we just ended up not re-recording it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I got so stressed out when I saw that because I was like staring at my screen for like 10 minutes after I looked and it didn't save, and I was like, "Oh no, I don't even want to tell Hunter." So I waited till
yeah,
the next day to tell him.
yeah. I don't know. I was annoyed, but not like a
So was
big
I.
big deal. I mean, we would like this to be a weekly thing, but like things come
Well,
up,
the only
and
reason that I was so bummed out is because that was actually a really good episode.
so that was an episode that we had literally like 7 topics, not even like actual real topics other than like things that we do every week. It was like 4 topics. We had like one piece of music. It was not a very good week for topics at all for news. It was a really slow news week. So
Bad.
but we turned it into something. We made like a 2.5 hour podcast. Edited down, it probably wouldn't have made like the 2 hour mark. It would have
It
been right
definitely would
around
have
there.
been like one of the lengthier podcasts.
Yeah. And we just did a really good job at like going off and doing things. So that's why this week um I'll actually show you. Well, one of these things. No, I can't show it because one of these things we're not even going to talk about, and I don't want them to know like which one. Because then it's like a slight to them, but it's not like a big deal or anything. Um, but yeah, we only have one, two, three, four, five. Like real topics, we have 5 topics. So I just want this to like go wherever it goes. Um, and I think it'll be a good one.
Hey man, I totally agree with your statement. And I'm excited for this one. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a very family friendly one.
It's not going to be a family one
It
at all.
depends on your family situation.
It depends on the morals of your family ethics. Um, but anyway, so we obviously have to start out with what's been going on in America right now. Pretty horrible, scary. Um, Obviously, it's 2020, so you don't expect to have to make this talk or have this conversation because like you just assume that people are good enough to where you're not going to have to talk about racism right now. Because I think especially for us, we live in an area where we don't see as much of this, so we see it online a good amount, but we didn't really grow up with a lot of like racist people around us.
Yeah.
So when we were little, people would kind of tell us like, "Hey, racism's still out there, but it's not something that we see every day." So to see something like what's been going on over the last few weeks has been horrible, and it's scary that this is a recurring thing in this year.
Mm.
Like, especially when we're dealing with this whole virus, um, to see that we can't even unify over something like this. To see that we're still hating people of other cultures, of other ethnicities, of other race and everything. It's insane. I can't believe it, honestly. It's
Yeah,
disgusting.
I agree.
Yeah.
The justice system is very fucked up. I think the world, dude, 2020 is just literally a shit hole.
Yeah. Another thing I want to say is like just the entire idea of accepting this, like, cops. Like, when you think about it, your town hires a cop, and when you're a little kid, you're told that these people are supposed to be your heroes. They're supposed to be
Mm,
pillars of your community. And then to have this happen over and over again, it's a real slap in the face to people. And like, to the people that are like, oh, it's just a few bad apples. How many times do you have to have a few bad apples? It's to the point where daily obvious acts of police brutality, not necessarily even just racism, because racism is a large part of it, but it's not even the entire scope. It's just the way that people handle themselves on the job of being a police officer, and the fact that they don't do it well. Like, not everything can be chalked to just racism. Some is just stupidity, and
yeah.
obviously they're not being trained well enough. So how
Hmm.
many times do you, if you're an orchard, how many times do you let a bad apple be sold before you start to change the pesticides that you use, or the whatever? You can't have that many bad apples and have it not affect your business. How has it not affected them? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
um like,
I
something has
even
to be
was,
changed with the way that they're doing things. There definitely are good cops, but there's just not nearly enough to justify the horrific decisions that some make, that a lot make. I'll be honest, like, I know a few cops personally. You you kind of have to have an ego and be a little egotistical and kind of be arrogant just a little bit to be a cop. Like, they're not all racist, they're not all horrible people, but they all do have a certain, like, you know what I mean? Like,
mm,
they have a little certain quality to them that there's a few that don't, but almost all have, like, something that just makes you not want to be like, oh, they're my best friend. Like, they're just kind of a dick. Like, they come off as a dick a little bit, and I feel like you kind of have to have that if you're, like, working in that profession.
yeah.
Maybe not as much like a detective or anybody like that, but like if you're working out in the field and everything like that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. Rest in peace to both men that have lost their lives to these horrible events over the last few weeks.
Hmm. Rest in peace to everybody that's lost their life to in that
Yeah,
kind of
not just
situation, you
them.
know?
Yeah, yeah. Um, and hopefully we're seeing a lot of things about people wanting to, like, go to war over this. Like, actually, hopefully it doesn't get to that point, and hopefully people are able to do something. But
Yeah.
I don't. Let's just say I'm not completely hopeful at this moment. Like,
Hey, I
but if
never have
something
hope
needs to
in
happen
anything.
for us to move forward, I'm not totally against it. It's just like, how much are we willing to do?
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, we have to talk about some things that we talked about last week that
I'll do this pretty briefly, just
yeah,
because.
we're not going to talk like last week when we were talking about Wunna. That's going to be our first topic. I talked about, like, a bunch of quotes and lyrics from that. I probably had, like, we probably talked about that album for like a good half hour. Honestly,
Yeah,
it was
it
a
was a
lot.
big chunk of time.
But we're not going to get into as much detail on those things, obviously. So yeah, did you want to go first on Wunna?
I'll go first on Wunna, just
All
because
right.
I don't have much to say about Wunna. It's Gunna. I don't know if any previous viewers remember the hate I expressed towards Gunna, because I do hate that man a lot. I hate the way he dresses. I don't like his music. I hate the way he acts. I hate the way he looks when he goes to buy cars. And
Oh man, that's a bad thing. We shouldn't be
and
using the word hate so much. We
sorry,
don't know the man, but just
listen,
don't like. Yeah.
I don't like Gunna. I definitely didn't go back and listen to this album again. I gave it one or two run throughs when it first dropped, and I said I think I gave it like a 4.5 or a 5 out of 10, just because obviously there are some good songs, because sometimes Gunna like can make a good little banger, but like he can make a good hit. I don't think he can make a good deep like song, but I know
No.
he can make like a good nice something that you like listening to, something that makes you want to twerk a little
Yeah.
bit.
Wow.
But
Yeah. Move on.
and, and I like some of the features. Big fan of the Young Thug feature. I would refer them as the name of the song, but I just can't remember any of the names of the songs. I'm not gonna lie to you. This album did not stick with
Yeah,
me. Neither did any other of
I
his
completely
albums.
agree.
There's a couple of Gunna songs that I like, but he's just not for me. You know?
So yeah. So the first thing I wrote down was, all I'll say is that Gunna isn't a very good artist, and I think that pretty much sums it up. It
Yeah.
it was really dumbed down stuff from it all sounded nice, like it sounded good. I would play it in a car with some friends maybe, but like it wasn't what I'm listening to by myself at all.
I feel you.
He has a lot more questionable bars than good lyrics, which I'll say that confidently. Like the amount of stuff that I read off last week that I didn't really come prepared with this week was insane. Like he had a lot of lyrics where I was like, what is this man talking about? And yeah, that's pretty much all I'll say. Like a 5 out of 10, I'd probably give it. I don't even know if it deserves that, but just because it sounds a little more poppy and I would be able to listen to it with like people out, um, which is something that we're craving a little bit right now towards the end of
Mm,
quarantine. I'll give it a 5, but I don't know if it deserves that. I think I think it's around there.
one.
Yeah.
I don't think he really got too creative with the album name. Can't lie.
No.
Wanna.
Well, I don't think he's the most creative person.
You're right.
Like, I don't know what we
Well,
would
so,
expect from Gunna.
what was our topic after Gunna?
Travis Scott.
The shoes.
Yeah, the shoes and shit, like the clothes and stuff.
Well,
All
to give a
right.
quick overview,
Yeah.
the Travis Scott Air, is it an Air Max 1? Air Max
Air Max
97?
270s, I believe.
270? Oh yeah, 270.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have like a vintage hiking vibe to it, and
It
Nike
comes
and
like
Travis
it's
Scott
dirty.
collab. It does, yeah. It
It
comes like it's
looks
dirty, and
dirty. Yeah.
it has like fleece on it and shit, and
The air bubble is
it's like all, yeah, it's
cloudy.
all musty.
Yeah.
And Nike and Travis Scott collaborated on like a sort of classic like trading company website, and they call it, I
Hmm.
think it was Cactus. I think it was just Cactus Jack Trading Co.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much just like around the release of the shoe, and it's like a
Hmm.
cool like, aesthetic. It's basically just for the aesthetic, but I thought it was pretty dope. I'll throw some screenshots of it up here, but it's got like all different like type of Western or type of ads, or like fishing type of ads for the
Yeah.
product. It's pretty
like
cool.
outdoor
I
shit.
think Travis Scott's pretty neat, dude.
Yeah. Also on his own website, they're up as individual items. So I believe you can buy them for like 370 or something like that, 320, something around there. Not the shoes, but the outfit. You can buy that on the trading company website. But I believe
Yeah.
that shortly you'll be able to buy them individually on his website. I'm not too sure on that. I didn't do my research on that, but it seems it seems as if that's what'll happen.
Yeah.
Eating a banana.
Yeah. A friend of mine who resells actually copped the with 2 pairs of the toddler ones, the toddler
Oh, really?
Air Maxes. Yeah, they were like $100 something
Really?
each, which is kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how much those are gonna resell, but
Uh-huh.
I have a good amount.
Speaking of going outdoors, I'd like to tell a little story of what happened over the last week. So
Hi, brother.
my friends,
Oh,
we will go into this. So this is might be a little lengthy because we've got to let the people know of a lot of different moving parts here. So we got Big J. He's the one of my Jaden friends, Jaiden. He was one of the people that wanted to go to the beach. So Caden, Bray, and Big J want to go to the beach. And I'm like, okay, I'll go, but that's not really my thing. Like, that's not. I don't like the beach. I'm not going. It's like dirty water, like sand. It's the hottest place on earth. I don't want to go there.
I hate the beach.
I hate it. And like, I'm like, okay, I'm a loyal person. I'll go because my friends want to go with me. Um, so we leave and everything, and it's like a bad day. It's like a mile and a half walk from the parking lot from where we park, which we paid $30 for. I pull up and I'm like, oh, how much is parking? He's like $30, and I get ready to say, okay, we'll be seeing you because I'm not paying $30. And then I look over at Big J and he's like, I guess we can split it 3 ways. I was like, are you fucking serious? So I ended up having to pay $10 to park in a parking lot that's like a mile and a half away from the beach. So we're
It
walking there.
should be $10 to park.
Yeah, it should be free everywhere. Like I don't. It's parking.
Right.
So we get there, and I'm like dead by like it's been. I walk. I go out and walk like once a week. So I'm walking a mile and a half, and the first like hot day of the year, it's like 80 out.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm not enjoying it. So we pull up, and Caden, one of my friends, Caden, who is like the outdoorsy guy, he's got, the beach volleyball. He needs to,
He has a lock picking kit.
like, he's just that kid. So we pull up, and he's like invited his girlfriend and like all her friends. So now I got a bunch of people around me. I'm like laying on the sand. I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. I finally put on sunblock. I got a little sunburn. You can see it on my face. Not a good day at all. So I just wanted to not shout them out, but I guess inadvertently they did get shouted out. Yeah, that was not very nice of them. So yeah, Cooper
I was
could have been
invited,
there, but he didn't
go
go.
because I don't like Caden. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm gonna cut that out because I'm not even.
No,
I wasn't even.
you don't even have to cut it out because he knows you're not. You're capping.
Yeah. So he texted me that morning, and he was like, "Are you and Hunter coming?" I was like, "No, bitch."
But dude, we got there, and so another thing is we drove through the first time to see if we could find any free parking, and we couldn't. So we called Caden. He was not being helpful at all. He was like, "Oh, I can't really see the screen." We were like, "Then put a fucking towel over your head and look." Like, I couldn't understand why he was being mad, annoying about it. And then we ended up having to pay $30 for parking. So we were mad at him. And then I get there, and he walks up to me. Swear to God, the first thing he says is, "Did Cooper come?" And I was like, "Dude, don't even talk to me right now." And Big J walked up before, and Caden was like, "What's up?" And Big J was like, "Don't even fucking talk to me right now." Like, we were tight at him. And then Lil J got made fun of in front of all the girls. They said that he was super little, and they thought he was
hurt.
Dude, that's so funny. That is so funny. That's so funny. Oh, and then he was like, "Oh, most people think that." I was like, "That doesn't make it okay. Like, that's not a goal." I'm Shout
Shout
out
out
all
Lil
them.
J.
Yeah, shout out Lil J. Lil
Happy
J takes a lot
birthday.
of shit. Yeah, his birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Lil J. He takes a lot of shit from us, and
I know he be taking the hardest hits.
yeah, like we be going. Well, he does like earn it. Like not a lot of the stuff we say is like
I think
wrong.
deserve is the word you're looking for.
No, he doesn't really deserve. He earns it. By his performance in certain things.
Yeah.
It's just funny, like that it's him. I don't know. So, yeah. Speaking of light skins like Lil J, Doja Cat was in the news.
Yes, sir. Not for good reason this time.
Not for good reasons. Did you see that she responded? So we already talked about this also, but we're just gonna give like a brief talk about it. Did you see that she ended up responding to it, saying that she didn't know that they were racist chats? When they were like being racist towards her, and she said that she doesn't even like being black herself. Like, that's a wild thing to say. Like, that's literally like saying, "Oh, I know all my fans and people who care about this are stupid." Like, that's it's not true.
She went sick. She was like, "You bitches are all quarantined up, and you got nothing better to do but try to ruin my career."
Did she say that?
And I was like, "Hey, yeah," she said that. I was like,
Trying to
"Hey,
ruin
shut the
your
fuck up."
career? You
You see
obviously
what
racist things in a group chat or in a
You see what academics posted?
what?
The pictures of her from the chats.
Yeah. It's like they've shown proof that you're participating in racist things, and you're like literally going on.
She like was taking her clothes off on that on like the live stream.
Yeah, but there's like pictures of her saying things. Like there's videos of her saying things in there.
Oh, that's annoying.
That are bad. Like they're not good things. Yeah, I'm fine with canceling her. I unfollowed her on Instagram. I did my part. You didn't.
I'm glad. I can't. What do you mean you saw? You looked at your followers?
No, I went to her page and then I saw that it said Cooper Language is following her. You know how it shows like the 3 people that follow and then it says like and blank more? When
I'm honored to be one of them.
You were one of the ones because I have more like interaction with you on Instagram than most people. What? Oh, we got Lil Boat III.
Oh yeah, baby! Woo!
So new music. New music dropped this week. So what we got this week? We'll just run through it before we react to everything. Lil Yachty released Lil Boat III. Freddie Gibbs released Alfredo, produced solely by The Alchemist. Juice and Trippy released a single called Tell Me You Love Me. And then Amine released a track called Riri.
Amine.
Amine.
Yeah.
Amine.
Are you sure? Yeah, I thought we had a lot less than that.
Well, what I wrote down was only like 2 things, but I sent you that we were reacting to a few singles.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So it's only like
All right,
2
well,
albums, and then the 2. It's only 4 things, so it's not that much.
Yeah, you're right. So
All
you want
right,
to start with Lil Boat?
Yeah. So Lil Boat III sounded like probably what I thought it would sound like. It's definitely a vibe. The beat selection was pretty obvious. A lot of trappy sounds with the bass and what do you call it? Like the cymbals when you hit. What are those called in like beat making?
808s.
No, like the actual cymbals when you hit like. So I like. Like
Hi-hat.
you heard it on the album a lot. I don't know. So it's you can tell the beats that he was going for. It's really good like party music or car music because of the beats and because of the content, which is a lot of like fashion bars and a lot of like I'm richer than you bars. Which I usually hate on, but I think Yachty does the sound and content a lot better than other people do. I think he's able to make it fun and creative for me, so it's a lot easier to listen to. And I think the features that he comes with are a lot better than other artists who just find the same exact people to do features. So yeah, Tokyo Drift was obviously a great song, super good song. Tyler, his feature was like what, like 2 verses and like a hook.
Great verse.
He went crazy on that. I did on the next track. You have Future, and that's back to back big hitting feature songs. Future, the whistling could have stopped. The whistling was annoying, but I really enjoyed his feature as a whole. But I didn't love the whistling. Also, it was literally a Future song. Like it had 1 verse from
I know.
Yachty. So do we think that he bought that off Future?
Probably not. I don't think he did.
Really?
I think, yeah.
What do you think about that in music in general? Like somebody buying shit off another artist and then making it their own. Do you enjoy that?
It depends on the situation.
Like
if it's some artist that's like paying OD to work with like a bigger artist, then I don't really think that it's that cool. But like if you got 2 artists that are like homies and they just like switch it up, give him a song, I think that's cool. Like for this situation, like
well, what about like Kanye with Panda? When he bought Panda and it kind of fucked over what's his name?
Designer,
yeah. Stuff like that.
What do you mean he bought it?
He bought that song off him. He used it on his album, and then I don't think he got as much royalties as he would have off that song when it.
He didn't buy the song off him. He just sampled it.
I think he bought it.
He just sampled it.
Yeah, but
he didn't. He signed Designer. He signed Designer, but I think he just sampled the song. Because then the Designer's featured on that album like 2 times. Hey, I remember when Kanye bought my song off of me.
What?
I sold Kanye a song. I didn't tell you which one it was, though.
Yeah. Was it a good one?
Yeah, it's a good one. I'm not going to tell you which one, though. You'll never know. I'm not credited.
I guess you were right. But I know it has happened before where like somebody buys a song off them and it fucks the other guy over. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
But I
that
don't
happens
know.
in movies a lot.
Like what?
Like if you write a movie under like one production company and then another production company can buy the movie from you, and like a movie company can buy the rights to a movie after gets put in theaters, and it messes up the box office sales like so badly.
Really? I'm gonna
Yeah.
give so to go back to that, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Could have been better, but it definitely could have been worse. It was above average because I like Lil Yachty, but it wasn't like the craziest album I've ever heard or anything. What about
If he
you?
dropped another fuck, I forgot the album, but it's the one that's got like I like
Human
Yachty. That's what I
Emotions?
have to say. No, it's the one where he's just like sitting in the water. It's like orange. It's
Um.
got like Ugly God on it. The song with Offset, like Mickey.
Oh. Wasn't
That's
that
not
Lil
Lil.
Boat 2?
Oh yeah, that's Lil Boat too.
Hold on, hold on. It may have been the other thing though.
I like that album a
Um.
lot.
Yeah, that was Lil Boat 2. Yeah, that album was really good.
Hey,
So we're not thinking it was as good as Lil Boat 2?
no, not for me. I think it was good. I really did like the future. I gave it a 7.5.
I think
I
the
really.
Tokyo
Oh,
Drift
hold on.
song was really good. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the split whole time. I liked the video that dropped with it.
Yeah, I
Cardi
like
was
that
in
too. Yeah.
it. Black Jesus is fire.
His
Shout
so
out
I
Jesus.
also said that his solo songs were also really good, which I think some of the solo songs
Yeah,
were better than his other songs. Draft Day did his thing, um, which was really good. Can't Go had a great flow. I like the fashiony bars that I could understand. Um, Plus, I thought that the solo tracks were really done well.
yeah,
So, all right, is that all you had to say? What would you give it out of
yeah.
10?
I said I gave it a 7.5.
7.5. All right, I can see
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't really anything crazy for me, but it's still like
No,
a good album. I still added like one or two songs to my playlist.
yeah. I think I'd add even more than that. I think I'd add like 5.
I definitely would. It was just a matter of like when I first heard it.
Yeah. So moving on, the other album that dropped. This was an album, right? It wasn't like an EP because it was short. It was shorter on the shorter side. It was 10 songs, I believe 38 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But Freddie Gibbs dropped Alfredo um, with amazing production by Alchemist. Do you want to go into that?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the title a lot because
Uh,
it's like a mix between their two names.
yeah.
It's like the perfect
Okay.
word for it because it's like
Yeah.
Al with Alchemist and then Fredo with
Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs. But
Freddie. Yeah.
aside from that, I did really like the album. So correct me if I'm wrong, but is Freddie Gibbs in Griselda?
No.
He's not.
No.
So he's just a rapper.
Yeah.
Well, I like this album a
Yeah. He's
lot.
been
I
around
gave it
for a
a
lot, for a long
nine
time.
out of 10. Um,
Yeah. Hold on. I'll read you a little bit about my boy Freddie Gibbs. I've played his music before. Yeah, he was dropping mixtapes in like 2011, 2012. The Miseducation of Freddie Gibbs he put out in 2009, which is obviously a
oh,
play
the
on
Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been releasing music for like 10 years. So no,
Oh, really?
I
I
don't think he
haven't
has
even heard of
anything to
him
do
until
with Freddie
today.
Gibbs.
For some reason, I just
I
thought
mean,
because he was on the West Side Gun album. For some
yeah,
reason, I
no.
thought he was in on.
He has a song with um who am I thinking of? SGP, Space Ghost Perp. He has a song with
Ah,
him, and it's really good.
oh boy, not Space
Um,
Ghost Bird.
yeah, it's weird that I just brought that he just came up in a conversation about music right now.
Space Ghost Perp is
If nobody
literally
knows who
the creator of everything.
he yeah, Kush Cloud by Freddie Gibbs came out in 2012. That's such a good song. I played that in the car
Oh,
before.
2012 Space Ghost Perp. That's probably a banger.
It is. Um, but yeah, he was featured on it. Nobody's gonna know who Space Ghost Perp is. Do you think
Yeah,
people know who
Gavin
Space
knows.
Ghost? Well, yeah, like, but I mean, like anybody other than
No, probably not.
Do you want to go into who Space Ghost Perp is for the people listening at home?
No, I don't think he deserves that attention.
Okay, I can live with that.
He's like he's a producer that was pretty much like the pioneer of a lot of shit, and like a lot of people discredit him because like he had a big beef with the ASAP Mob when ASAP Mob was first coming up, and
Yeah, with Rocky.
so like they all put a bad word out for him, so a lot of people didn't fuck with him.
Yeah,
Then he went ghost for a long ass time. He's out of pocket on Twitter.
he is very out of pocket on Twitter. I follow him
And
on
you'll
Twitter, and he's
probably
very.
see his name a lot, like produced by Space Ghost Perp. That's pretty much it.
Not as much
He's a guy.
anymore. Yeah.
There's a lot
So
more like references to him in music now.
yeah. What did you give this? Did you give this something? The Freddie Gibbs album?
Mm-hmm.
What did
A
you give
9
it?
out of 10.
Okay, that's so. All right, I'll just give my. So a breath of fresh air, for sure, because a lot of the content that's been coming out lately, it's not like this. So to see these albums, they're great, dude. Like, I love the amount of songs. I love the length. I love the features. He has probably the best list of features that he could have for an album. Like an album that he's doing, him creatively, with hearing the music that he's put out before, this was like a good list of features. I love that we're still hearing Griselda often, because I think their future is really bright in the music industry. I think they make amazing content. I think they're great creators. I think they have the right people around them with their peers in art, like the fact that they're signed to Eminem, both Rock Nation and Shady, is insane because they have ties with two of the most prominent rappers to come out over the last like 30 years. And then Virgil and Fashion, and they just have the right people around them to become successful, and I think they'll continue to do that. So to see features from Benny and Westside, I think it's great. Conway. Wait, was Westside on this? Or was it just Conway and
No.
Benny?
I don't
I
think
think it was
Westside
just
was on it.
Yeah, so it was just Kanye and Benny, Conway and Benny. I just said Kanye. That's weird. Tyler had a great feature. It was like 2 verses and a wait, no, that was the other one. But this one's like so much different from the other one. This is like more of a great content. And this is a little more of what Tyler's been doing recently with his style. Whereas the feature on the Yachty album was a lot more like older Tyler, which I like to hear on that. But Both the
That was
features were
fucking
really
dope.
good.
Yeah.
Conway's feature is also amazing. The substance that he has in this. But to be honest, I totally misgauged my time, so I listened to this in the car on the way to my mom's house. So I didn't get like as much like to look at the lyrics and everything, but I did listen to some of it when I got back to my house and everything, and it was really good. Um, it's as close as I've gotten to giving a 10 out of 10 on something, but I'm gonna give it a 9. Um, Probably even like a 9.5 if I was feeling it. But yeah, definitely gonna be listening to
Literally
this a
just give it a
lot.
10.
What?
Give it a 10.
Nah, I don't. A 10 has to be like if freaking Eminem comes out and releases an album exactly like Slim Shady LP. Like if he does that, then that would be a 10. If Jay releases a really great album, that'll be a 10. If Wayne releases a short, concise album that every song is in there's no skips in that entire album, like a 12 tracker with like 40 minutes of content. Oh my God, if Lil Wayne gave us something like that, that'd be a 10.
Yo, you need a straw?
Why? Because I'm sucking?
You sucking Eminem like crazy.
No. The Slim Shady LP is the greatest album to ever come out. Not even close.
What's the album that has Drug Ballad on it?
That's probably, I
Marshall
think that's
Mathers.
it. Is
I
it?
think that's Marshall Mathers LP.
I don't
I like
enjoy
that
Marshall
album.
Mathers LP as much as the Slim Shady LP is so raw. It's so uncut. It's so great.
Speaking of uncut, best movie I've seen in a long fucking time, Hunter. Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd say that. Just because you reminded me. Well, it's hard for me to say that a movie is the best one I've seen in a while. And that
Oh,
movie's the best
also,
one I've seen in a while.
I'd like to say that the reason you're seeing me like this now is shout out my dad. He got me my MacBook Pro for my graduation. So I don't have to sit at like the desk because I feel like better with it being steady. So I'm able to like chill now and not be sitting up in my computer chair, like actually having to like, be like, it feels so much better to be able to just relax and talk now. So yeah, shout out my dad and my stepmom, Kathy.
Can we get a hip hip hooray for Hunter?
No, we can't.
And also, shout out to my man, Imran.
Potato.
That's all. Yeah.
All right. So Juice and Trippy also put out a single.
Yeah, this is gonna
Did
be
you
all
listen
you,
to
man.
this?
I did not. No.
You didn't listen?
No, I didn't even
It's
know they dropped
very
anything. I don't
different.
follow either of them.
It's very different from like normal music, honestly. Like the beat
Really?
is like offbeat, if that makes any sense.
Kinda. I'll give it a listen.
Yeah. It's not something you would hear a lot. It's very choppy, and it forces Juice and Trippy to each be different than they would normally sound, because they're normally like artists that you would hear on a very like elegant, like flowy feature, or not feature, beat. Why would I say feature? We've been talking about feature so much today. They're both more on like softer, like repetitious beats that you can really just have the
Yeah.
same flow throughout the entire song. And this doesn't let them do that very much. I enjoyed it. It wasn't amazing. But Juice has a verse. Juice spits, like actually raps. Like he doesn't do like the usual shit he does, but he actually goes in and like raps hard. Like he would in a freestyle or something. But
Really?
yeah. But even a little sharper than he normally would have. Um so that was nice to hear. They're doing a good job with his music, I'd say. With what they're putting out. I don't think we've been getting any like you never want to say that an artist's music was bad after they've passed, but it does happen once in a while that you're like, this is not really it. But you can't say anything bad about it. But they've actually been doing a good job with him and Mac. Him and Mac. They've been doing a
Facts.
good job with the music that they've been putting out.
I'm a big Mac guy.
Yeah, I don't even think that Mac ever recorded anything that was like horrible.
Yeah, I know. Even when he was like having fun, like freestyling and shit.
Yeah.
Who was
He
the
always
other
made
artist that
like
we have?
dope. Amina.
Did he drop something?
Yeah. He dropped
Oh, I
a
didn't know that.
he dropped a single called Riri. It was like, oh, something Riri, but you're not Rihanna or some shit. It was like a relationship like breakup-y song.
Oh,
I honestly didn't love it. It was good, but definitely not great. um, he always makes good music that like sounds good to the ears, but sometimes his content is hit or miss for me because he raps about shit that isn't really exactly always relatable. You know, like
yeah.
I don't relate to everything that Amine puts out, honestly.
Me
Um,
neither. I did really like, fuck, I can't remember the name of it.
the song that we recorded a video to,
Reacted to, yeah. Yeah, that
should we
one.
put that out at some point?
Yeah, we can. I still have it, obviously,
Yeah.
but we can put it out.
We should do more of those videos. Let us
Shimmy.
know if you'd like to see, yeah, Shimmy. Let us know if you'd like to see us do some reaction videos. Like I could just pick up Cooper in the car. We could record like 10 videos of reactions to like old hip hop, new stuff that we haven't heard. Um, you know, not like super get into the bars and intricately like dissect them, but just like a short video, probably not even like hit 10 minutes on, but just some little like funny content to put out of us. If people want to watch it, they can. I think that'd be sick.
Facts. Yeah, of course.
And we have some bigger videos coming out in the coming months if things go to plan. And I think
Yes, sir.
I haven't talked to you too much about this, but I think we'll be
No
ready to
spoilers.
record, to record the first one in about 3 weeks. Not quite,
Okay,
because
that's
some
fine.
things have to
I'm in no
ship
rush.
and stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fine.
but yeah. So, do you want to get into? I don't know. How long have we been going?
An hour about.
An hour? Do you have any other like funny stuff to talk about? I guess we can just go like right into it, and then like our assorted thoughts can be however long we want it to be. We
Let's
can just
just
talk
do
about
assorted
random
thoughts
stuff.
right now.
All right. So, so we're gonna skip to assorted thoughts, and then we're gonna come back to the rest of the stuff at the end. Um, but how have you been? What have you been doing?
I've been doing a lot of skating lately. And now with Aiden a lot. Um, Whenever we go to the Groton skate park, nobody's ever there because everybody thinks it's closed. So we literally always have it to ourselves. We have
Yeah,
to hop the fence, but like it's fine. Um, and it's been like usually the routine is we'll skate for like 2 or 3 hours till we get pretty tired, and then we'll go like usually when we're done too, we'll go to
hmm
this trail that we usually go to. It's got like a waterfall and stuff at it. It's in Groton,
yeah.
behind the Pequot Hospital,
Uh-huh.
and it's about like a mile if you do like a full loop. So we usually just do the loop
Oh, that's
once
fire.
and then just go home. Usually do that. We try to do that every day.
Uh-huh.
If not, we go on a hike every day, and if not, then I'll take matters in my own hands, and there's like a church down the street from me. It's got a giant parking lot, and like nobody even owns the church, so I just go down there and I skate. And also like I have a gym in my garage and stuff, and I'll work out. I don't know. I'm just trying to get in shape because I want to get a couple. I have like 2 tattoos that I'm gonna get when everything opens back up, and they're both like on my stomach. So I want to like lose that weight so I can start getting them on my stomach and stuff.
Mhm.
And then I've been watching a lot of movies and stuff. Like usual, I usually watch like 2 or 3. I try to do 2 or 3 movies a day. Interesting, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And then I take care of my dog a lot. How about you?
Um, Not a lot, honestly. Well, I mean, like I've been going outside a lot more than usual. Um, Over the last few months, obviously, we've gotten used to staying inside all day. But as I said,
Yeah.
I went to the beach. Um, we went out to we went to Seaview, which is like a little seafood like stand almost near
And
our
Mystic.
houses in Mystic that my family went to. Um, yeah, like I've been going. I went to your house a couple times to drop some things off because I found the shirt that you left at my house one time, and I was cleaning out my entire room, um, and I found that at the bottom of my closet, so I brought that to you, and also I brought an AirPod case to you. Um, so yeah, like I don't know, doing more stuff like that, not being too afraid to like get in the car. Got gas for the first time in literally 3 months. That the the first time I drove right after all this happened to my dad's house the first time, that was literally the first time I had touched the steering wheel in 2 months, and like I had to
Really?
like kind of learn how to drive again. Like it was, it
Oh my
felt weird.
God.
It felt different. I had to remember which side my gas tank was on so that I could like pull into the spot properly, and like it screwed me up for a second. Um
Yeah.
I don't know, it's been different. Uh but also like it doesn't mean that you can't get it. Like you can still get the virus and everything. It's just I think people are kind of fed up with staying indoors. And we did stop the curve or whatever, like um even out the curve, whatever they were saying, that was the
Flatten the
reason that we
curve.
did all this. Yeah. The reason we did all this was so that hospitals could operate safely and we could get the numbers down enough so that like people are still going to get it, but it's not going to be as much of an issue for people to be taken care of and like for the people
Yeah.
that need it. So people I think are realizing that like we can go outside now, like, and I enjoy that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, going outside a little bit more. Other than that, I've been watching some movies. I didn't even, so I got the information to put into my Amazon, what is it called?
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, my Prime Video or whatever account. Um, I got the information for it, but it wouldn't let me sign in. So I have to figure out what I did wrong. But then I'll finally be able to watch that movie you want me to watch, mid-90s.
Yeah.
And I've watched like all the press releases for it, but I just haven't watched the movie yet. And I know like Olin Purnett and everything, like the guy, the skateboarder.
Knockout Smith is in it. They're all
Yeah,
skateboarders.
yeah. But I follow him on Instagram and everything. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Jonah Hill. I just haven't seen it, so I'll be able
Yeah.
to watch that.
Harmony
Um,
Korine is in it.
is he?
He has a cameo because the whole movie is based off of kids, and
Yeah,
but it wasn't in like a rip off way. It was like he's friends with them, and
yeah.
there's just one scene where like Harmony Korine walks out of the kid's mom's room, like obviously after fucking her,
Yeah,
and he's like pulling up his pants, and then he leaves, and that's the only like he doesn't have a line.
yeah.
So you'll see who I'm talking about, but it was like I didn't notice it until like the fourth time I watched the movie.
Really?
He has a shit ton of cameos. Like, remember when me and you were watching Good Will Hunting and you were trying to show it to me
Yeah.
for the first time, and he was fucking in it?
Yeah,
Like, as a he was in
he
the
was supposed
jail.
to be like a tranny in the jail. And he
Yeah.
yeah, that was fire. So yeah, just doing a lot of stuff like that. Playing a lot of video games. I've been playing 2K more. I'm not hating it as much because I'm not as bad at it as I was. Playing COD. I don't know. I'm finally getting more into cleaning my room. That's like a big project of mine at my dad's house. And I got wooden clothes hangers,
Yeah.
so I was able to hang up all my stuff. It
I
looks
saw
good.
that.
Yeah. So that'll be done here in the next like week. So that'll be nice. Nothing else really.
Okay. Recent pickups.
Yeah.
Okay. So since I have mine in hand, so we're gonna do recent pickups of ours. Since I have mine in hand, I'm just gonna go first. So to start off, we'll go with the bottoms. The bottoms first, the pants, the pantalones. Haven't been picking up too much just because I still am like in the process of filing for unemployment and stuff because I found out I'm not going back to work for any more like any longer for like a couple more months. And
Really? Why? What
yeah, it's
happened?
bullshit. I don't want to get into it. I don't
Okay.
I don't want to get into it right now. It's just bullshit. But so I haven't really been copping that much. I'm copping what I can, you know. So I picked up this pair of vintage orange tab Levi's. A great wash, great distressing on them, on the cuffs too, you know, just a classic pair of jeans. Everybody needs one in their collection. And just like Hunter is going to mention his pair that's coming in his pickups.
Yeah.
And then I have two vintage tees. Which one should we start with?
I don't know.
Make the choice now or I kill you.
The one in your right hand.
So we're going to start with the grandparents' tee. This one's from, I believe, 1988. Single stitch on both hems. And it's on a Screen Stars tag.
Actually, this
It doesn't
shirt that
fit
I'm
me
wearing
right
right
though.
now is the same thing. I totally
Yeah?
the Tasmanian Devil is 96, and I didn't know that I still owned it, and I found it in my back seat the other day.
My next item is this 91 duck shirt. I call it the duck hunting shirt just because that's what the word that pops into my head. Single stitch on the sleeve, not on the fucking uh bottom though, which is very depressing. But you know, those are my three items that I wanted to show off. Other than that, I got a couple books coming in the mail, a couple of magazines coming in the mail. And when I say magazines, I don't mean like I'm reading magazines. I mean like these two really specific
Porno,
magazines that what?
porno magazines.
Like Playboy? Yeah, no, I don't
Yeah,
fuck with no. I can't even read, so that shit stresses me out. You know, little blurbs from Jonah Hill and James Franco, two very good actors, writers, and directors. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and I just renewed my Apple Music subscription, so I guess that's a pickup.
probably not a pickup, but I'm trying to find right now. Oh, there it is. All right, so my first one, um, so a little story time. I already have one of these. This is my pair of AirPods, but I accidentally bought another one. So Cooper already has that.
Yes, sir.
I gave it to him the other day. Also, yes. It's kind of weird that we both have the same one, but we just gotta not listen to music in the same place.
Okay.
Or I already have the AirPods in there. Also, I have a pair of like Stone Island vintage jeans that I sent a picture to Cooper, and he was like, "Oh, you got to get those." So I bid like 75 for them on Grailed, I offered that to him, and he surprisingly took it. And he lived in the Ukraine, so all the shit is in Ukrainian or whatever it's called. I don't know what the actual language is called, but it's on its way here now. Should be here within like the week, I think. So there'll be pictures of all this. Also, there's this guy on Twitter named Stiz, and he makes art. He's a painter and everything. So mostly digital art, though, I'm pretty sure. So I ordered a print of a picture that you guys will see up somewhere. And it's
Up on the
pretty fire.
screen.
It's like a devilish looking dude with a robe or a cloak on, and it says that he's been what is that called when you're like sent away from a kingdom? Not banished, but like something like that.
Banished.
No, it's not that word.
It's banished.
It's not banished. Oh, but it's not coming to me. Damn it. But anyway, yeah. So I ordered a print of that 12 by 12 for like $25. Not bad. That'll be here soon. Kid Cudi tea, the leader of the Delinquents tea, that he's being controlled like a puppet. I bought that, and Virgil had said that he's hung out with Kid Cudi multiple times, and Kid Cudi is the only person that can control Kid Cudi. So I thought that was fire, and I bought that shirt. Also, two violence tees, the dinosaur one and the bombs away one, two fire tees, and yeah, that was it for stuff that I picked up over the last 2 weeks.
All right, so just let's get right into your window shopping then, just so you can keep going.
So for number one for window shopping, I have the New Balance 992 white silvers on StockX. You can find them for $280 in my size 13. A dad shoe, but New Balance is like super fire. Like New Balance makes great shoes. And that's a great looking shoe. It could be one of those like that you wear like an Air Force One where it matches everything and you just keep it in your rotation. Number two, I have a vintage Wu-Tang Globe tee. It's like a blue globe, and then it has all the members on the back written out. Super fire, $300 on round two vintage. Probably a little too much money. If it was like a tee with all them like pictures of them on the back, then I'd be like, okay, it could go for 300.
Yeah, I get
but
that.
This
yeah.
is just like I didn't think it was $300, but whatever. On the Thrift Lords website, there was a Joker tee from 1989 that's not in my size, but it's $80, and it's so sick. The front graphic is amazing. It's like it's a cartoon graphic of him. I'm not really sure what it would be from specifically, but super good tee. And then last would be the Travis Scott pouch pants that are in that collection of stuff coming out. Those are so sick. I would think about like $100 around there for those. So yeah, that's my number 5. Oh, did I ever even? I never even said my number 4, which is there's a Chinatown UV activated shorts, like tie-dye shorts that I might buy. They're printed on Champion, super sick, $55. But like I may ask for them, because I don't have the money for that right now. But like they're super fire. So yeah, that's it.
I'm more than excited to share mine.
Okay.
So I'm actually on another tab on my laptop right now, so forgive me if I'm looking stupid. But I was looking on Grail, right? I was looking at a brand called Basket Case Gallery, and I came up on this vintage Van Heusen shirt that it's just called the basket case shirt. And usually I don't even fuck with Van Heusen because it's just like that's just another like grown men like wearing nice like a suit store basically. But
Yeah.
it's got this print of the like a guy drinking. I believe it's like some shirt. It's like this print. I don't even know how to explain it. You'll have to wait until you see the pictures. But it's this print of a dude drinking something. And then on the other side, it's sort of like a Raph Simmons style thing. But and then the other side, it's this basket case. And then it says, figuring everything out, clicking into place. And hold on, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, it's like some shirtless kid wearing red pants. I think he's drinking something. And then it's like the base the base color of it is like blue and white vertical stripes. That's my number one. And then my number two, we're going to go with this FTP Usually, I don't actually, you know what? I'm going to put two FTP in here. This one is ungrailed. It's called the FTP Dogs tee. And I saw this and I passed up on it when it first dropped. But now that I'm looking back at it, this is like the perfect shirt for me. And I'm definitely going to buy it within the next day or two. And it's just got like a picture of a dog and like a circular frame. And it says nothing but a bunch of dogs. Fuck the population. MFG Corp. Like since 2010. And it's olive green. It's a cool shirt. And then my next item is also FTP. And they just put out a lookbook today modeled by G Herbo and I think Lil Bibby. And there was this one tee, and it's like just a combination of all their like iconic logos on one print, and I just think that it's so fire. I'm definitely gonna go for that when it drops tomorrow, because there's a big FTP drop tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I also was looking at this Prodigal Samurai anime tee. And it's a Cartoon Network. It's like vintage Cartoon Network. And I don't think it's single stitched. I could be wrong, but it's got like a nice front graphic. It's got like a nice charcoal wash, and then the back graphic is just like an anime print, which is pretty dope. It's only $60. That's what, 4 items I've showed? All right, so I have one more. And then, I'll put this one in here. It's this pair of Kiko Kostadanov Asics. It's definitely just the silhouette of like a regular Asics dad shoe, but it has kind of like it has like a gel type lining over them, and then it says Kiko Kostadanov on the inside. And I definitely would have gotten this shoe, but then Gavin fucking went and bought it, and now in the same exact color that I want. So now I kind of feel like a dick buying them.
Yeah.
I gotta find another shoe.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my 5 items. So you want to go to closing? I think this would be a pretty good length because we didn't have too many times where we were like, oh, we got to cut that out, or like big pauses or anything. I think it was all pretty straightforward. So I think this will still be pretty good. So if I think we can do the closing and then end it, we'll be fine. But yeah, so so that was all we had. This is a pretty slow week. We also didn't want to bore you guys with everything from the week prior to that. And we do appreciate the ongoing support. And I would like to shout out somebody in particular who I know watches them. Because he actually hit me up about it and was like, dude, how come there's no podcast this week? Blah, blah, blah. It's our friend, Nick Kokoro.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out to Nick because he showed us support and stuff, shouted us out on Twitter. And he like asked me about it and stuff. And then shout out to Gavin, my friends Gavin and Adrian. They both sit there and they watch these. I know they do. And shout out to Hunter's family for showing love. We appreciate it. We're trying, and we love all the feedback, negative or positive. We love it,
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Hunter?
No. Please forgive me if I wasn't this wasn't a great week for me. I'm not feeling the hottest currently. To to be honest. I don't think I
Yeah.
got like the virus or anything, but like I've been super tired and everything over the last few days,
No,
so
I too. I have too.
I'm not as upbeat as I normally am, but like I hope I still did all right.
Yeah.
Thank
Every
you
good's
guys
fine.
for watching. Um, everybody supporting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you all for
That's it.
watching, and I'll see you. We'll see
Have
you.
a scrumptious day.
Peace.
All right.
See ya.